Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for watching today. Today is Thursday, April 1st, and no April's Fool's Day jokes for everybody today. Today I'm going to talk about, bear with me, I'm going to go down memory lane, real estate memory lane a little bit to compare and tell you about what things have been different over the years and what I think is going to be changing and what's very important for you as an agent to think about and remember to keep your clients happy, to keep them with you, and not go to other your agents and your competition. The things that are most important. So that the class today or video today is how to be virtual, but you still have to be present on that. So today I'm going to go down a little bit memory lane. 29 years of real estate to show you a little bit of difference of how real estate has changed over the years, because a lot of agents, more than half of the agents in the business have been in the business less than 10 years, and that number is going to increase. There's going to be more agents that are going to be in the business less than a year or 2 years. So a lot of things have changed. So I'm going to go over some comparisons. Like 29 years ago, when I got into real estate, it was, I wouldn't say easier. It was, I'll say easier. It was almost easier to keep a client or a prospect under your wing, so to say, and in your corner than it is today. 29 years ago, when someone wanted to say, can we look at the houses that are on the market now, but I don't want to go see a house. We used to bring them to the office, and we had a MLS book. So anybody watching this remembers the MLS book that we had that came out like once a week, and only one for the office, and we had a sign in the office and tell us, and they would call our name in the office, say, okay, it's your turn to look at the book. and we sometimes at different times would bring our clients in there to look at the houses that are on the market. Just flip the book, look at this house, that house. Some of us would, when it's our book time, would take the book, go to the copy machine, and make copies of this one, I'll say, crappy black and white picture of a house and a basic description that was just that long, not all the information we have now. So when we had clients that were that's how they had to see houses. There wasn't so much information. There wasn't internet. There wasn't ways for them to easily see, go online and see other agents or interview other agents or that. They would have to go to an office or call an office and be introduced to an agent. Or they would get the newspaper out and see an ad for an open house or ad for an agent in a magazine and maybe call them. But it was work. Then they had to get in touch with them because they didn't have cell phones, and they'd call their office, leave them a message, and hopefully they'd call them back. So the point I'm getting to this is that years ago it took a lot of time for agents or clients to switch agents. If you had your foot in the door, you could easily call them every day or every couple days, or if they weren't really interested in buying a house now, you call them every couple months and stay in contact with them. But there's only one way to do it: phone and mail. That's it. So it was an easier way to connect with them and stay in touch with them, and it was all face-to-face, and you had to spend all of the time to set up the appointment, come to the office, go to their house, interview with them, stay in touch with them. So I'll use that term loosely, easy. Today, there's so much virtual of everything. And of course, that's kicked up even more. Let me throw this out to you. You could virtually, and a lot of you will be like, oh, I can't believe you're saying this, virtually send people listings, that new listings are coming on the market. They're like, of course, we've been doing that for years. Yes, we didn't do that years ago. There's no way to email. We didn't have email. We didn't have auto searches in the MLS that would automatically send them listings. But sometimes agents where the topic today could be virtual, but you have to be present. You can't put someone on an auto search for houses and not follow up with them. You have to be present. So that specific topic of when you have people on auto searches, you better be watching that and better be on top of that, because that could easily call another agent if they can't get a hold of you. If you're not present and available in this virtual world, they'll call someone else. They'll go on the internet. They'll go on Zillow. They'll find another agent. Next thing you know, you lost a client. So today, the good news about being virtual, being connected through email, text, video, is that you can be anywhere at any time to communicate with your clients more. But you also have to be present and available a lot faster in texting and answering your phone. If you, my big pet peeve of agents that don't respond to text messages quickly. I mean, just at least look at your phone and just say, call you later, so you acknowledge that you've got it. I see agents losing business all of the time because they don't communicate fast enough for people, and it's so easy for people to go somewhere else. So a couple other things that are virtual. Virtual tours. I've just had an agent this morning and one late last night that went to houses with their camera, with their phone, doing a FaceTime or Zoom. I didn't ask them exactly which one they were using, but went around the house and put an offer on the house, being virtual out there. Never thought about this years ago. But again, you have to be present and ready to do that, because there's more agents that are doing that. So if you have an out-of-town client and a new house comes on the market today and it's a hot market, and they want you to do a video day and you are unavailable to do it, they will find someone else that can do it because they don't want to lose that house. So call the listing agent up. Say, can you go to the house and do a video? So again, the point of today's video is that, yes, being virtual is making things a little bit easier, because we could deal with more clients throughout a day than we used to. Years ago, you'd have one client a day, two clients a day, maybe. If you had showed homes, they'd come to the office, get in your car, drive to all the houses, spend 15, 20 minutes or more in each house, then drive back to the office and discuss what you want. So it's an all-day event or all-evening event. Today, still happening just like that. Not saying it's not, but there's more agents doing virtual tours. They're going to one house today, right here, with one client or two houses, and then that's at 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock. Then at 6:30, they're going to another house or a couple more houses with another client doing virtual video, and then they're going another. They're handling more clients, but they have to be available. And there's the agents that are on teams or agents that have assistants because they have several clients, have other people backing them up to communicate with them. So you might get to that point where you are with clients or doing virtual tours or whatever you're doing with your current client, and you're having text messages and emails and phone calls from prospects and other people. You need to start thinking about someone to help back you up, because again, just imagine you lose one client a month. That could be thousands and thousands of dollars in commission. That one deal you lose a month because of not being quick enough and being present and being available, you could hire an assistant to watch those calls for you. So it's something to think about. If you've lost clients, if you get to that point in your business because you're not quick enough, they're just going to go to someone else. So some other things, electronic signatures. Dot Loop or DocuSign. That wasn't a thing back then. But the one thing where you have to be present. This is very important. I'm kind of giving you things that changed and why you have to be present. Is I see so many agents sending them the documents but not explaining it to them. How many of you are doing that? Please don't do that. Don't send them, hey, I'm sending you the forms, sign them, thank you, I'll send it to the listing agent. That's it. That's their presentation. We used to, sorry to go back down memory lane, of sitting there in front of the buyer with the contracts, going through pretty much almost every line, explaining in the paragraph of what this is about, what you're signing, what you're filling out. And it would take quite a while to sign a listing agreement. or a purchase agreement. And we used to present in person. So we used to go to the seller's house with the other agent there, explain to the seller what our contract entails and what the buyer's offering, and sell the seller. Again, that went away a long time ago. I know we can't, as buyers agents now in our market, the way we do things, it can't get in front of a seller and talk to them, but you can present it to the listing agent if they'll allow you. So give you a little role playing. Say, hey Sue, the listing agent. Hi, this is Tony Geraci with Century 21 HomeStar. I got an offer on your house. Can I have 10 minutes of your time to just please go over the offer with you, tell you a little bit about our buyers? I know you're busy, but would love to just give me that opportunity to explain who I am, what I do, how I'm going to be involved in the transaction, and what my buyers are and what they're doing, so you could explain that to your sellers. So many agents are just, here's the dot loop, here's my offer, and not even communicate with the other agent. So you could be virtual, but be present in the transaction. Talk to the other agent. Ask them, a lot of listing agents, out there go, oh my God, I have 25 offers on the house. I can't talk to 25 agents. I understand that, but it's your job as a buyer's agent to try to get your foot in the door and sell yourself, sell the buyer on this house, or sell it to the listing agent to sell their seller, and put you and your buyer ahead of other people as best you can. And you could do that by talking. That's still virtual, talking to people. So build that rapport with the other agent. I know there's listing agents out there that have two offers that are identical, that are picking that specific buyer because they like to work with the other agent. So if you've never had a relationship with that agent and selling them another house, and they don't know your history of how great you are during a transaction and present during the transaction. So, sorry, I'm skipping around a little bit here, but when you're in a transaction, remember, especially the newer agents, and I see this in some agents that have been around a long time, is that your reputation precedes you. What I mean by that is, if you are not present and not helpful to that listing agent, or the other way around, during a transaction, you're not returning phone calls, you're not returning text messages at the end, things are happening, you're not cooperating, you're not involved, you disappear, you fall off the planet, whatever you do, that reputation is going to precede you to the next time you have to deal with this agent. And what are they going to think? That was a very bad experience. So your reputation as an agent to other agents will affect your success, will affect your getting offers accepted. I know there's agents that have been in the business a year that have a list of agents that they hate to work with. Will they say no? No, they're not going to say no. They're never going to work with them. But if they have two offers identical, I know that affects their decision. And then they have a right to explain to the seller. I've had agents that go out there and said, hey, I just want to, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, this offer is through this agent. I had experience with this agent. The last two deals I had with this agent, the buyer's financing fell through because they didn't watch and make sure they were pre-approved. So giving people a history of you had with that agent could affect your offer. So just wanted to get into that. So electronic signatures you can do, and electronic offers are great. It saves time, but two things: explain it to the client. Please go through the contracts with them so you're present and they know that you're not just skipping steps. And two, be available to the other agent and get your foot in the door and talk to them and try to present the offer to them, at least verbally, to them, and not just send it in an email and a text and throw it against the wall and hope it happens. Other things, we used to build earnest money. Earnest money used to always get a check in hand, bring it to the office, and deposit it. And again, you used to build that rapport with the other or with the buyer and seller, because they're giving you a check. You spent more time with them while they're doing the offer. Today, they could be done electronically with the title company, but I see agents not following up with the buyer and or title company to make sure it even got there. So you have to be present during that transaction. Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, this is the instructions to deposit the earnest money electronically on the title company's website. But I'm going to follow up with you tomorrow, make sure everything goes. Call me if you have any questions, and then follow up. Did you do it? Follow up with the title company. Did you get it? And be involved in that there. Because sometimes people get busy. They got a lot of things on their mind. I've seen buyers forget. Oh my God, I totally forgot you told me this. But they got a million things on their mind about buying this new house. And you're not in front of them saying, write me a check. Inspections. I'm seeing inspections done virtually. Agent going out there. I haven't seen any inspectors go out, do everything just all video, but I've seen agents go out to houses and do the inspection virtually, like the buyer is there. Again, you have to be there and go over the inspection with them. So I've seen agents that the inspector goes out, they get the report, never go over the inspection with them. So make sure you're present and you continue to do it even if you do it virtually. And now closings are happening virtually. Now I have a question into one of our title companies to find out. Let me see if I got an answer. Not yet. So the question I had for a title company, I didn't get it back yet, was in Northeast Ohio, we do escrow closings, which means seller signs over here, buyer signs over here, different date. Agents are never present, usually never present. In Central Ohio, Southern Ohio, they have roundtable closings where the agent goes there and is involved, and they sit there and they sign around roundtable. Everybody's there in the same room, and again, it makes you present, like you're part of the transaction. You got to the finish line. Here, I actually feel like in Northeast Ohio here is that sometimes there's a disconnect between your service because you're not present there. And again, any agents watching this like, no, I don't want to go to every closing. I don't have time to. Well, other agents around the state and country do this. But what the question I had for our title companies, find out with the virtual closings that are happening now, where there's a notary that is on a video. Again, I don't know exactly how it works, but it's just starting to happen, and companies are using this, and it's just going to become more acceptable or more popular. But my question was, can the agent be there on video too to be involved in it so they see you, your clients see you? You were there at the beginning, and now you're there at the end. On there. So think about that. So it's something to ask your title company. In my opinion, I would be there. I'd be there if I have the time. I'd be there on the closing so they could see your face, see your service. Again, they probably won't have many questions for you because that's all on the mortgage side of things, but they know you're there. They see your face, they see you make the time, and you can build a connection with them. They see how much time you put into this transaction. You were there from the first showing all the way to the end. Just a suggestion. I know a lot of agents are not going to take me up on that one, but again, you have to be present. The more you're there, the more you build a connection with them, the more that you'll get referrals, the more they'll show you how you held their hand from start to finish. And last, the keys. Another pet peeve. I've seen agents, all companies, that they're asked the listing agent, leave the key in the lockbox, and they don't have time. They send their buyer and they give them the code to give the lockbox. Now, I'm not going into the ethical thing of giving another agent's lockbox code. Again, it is the buyer's property. It closed, and you gave them the code. But I've seen agents do that. We used to back down memory lane. The listing agent used to take the keys, bring them to the buyer's agent's office, or vice versa. The buyer would go pick up the keys and meet the people at the house. Open up the house. Welcome to your new house. Don't skip steps. You should go there if you can. I mean, again, be present. So be there. Show your face if you can, or again, video somehow. So the whole point again today was I'm going over some different things that are happening that have happened for a while, that are starting to happen more often, that are where we could do things virtually. You could basically sell a house and never physically see the buyer and the seller. You could show the house virtually, do the paperwork electronically. You could tell them to pick up the keys out of the lockbox or somewhere else, or you could mail them the keys, and they can do the closings. They're not even in front of a notary. But in all of those processes, you should be present. You should be there. You should be, because your presence and being available and to show you're there at every step of the way and not cutting corners and spending the time with them. Because some of us get we're so busy, we don't want to spend all of the time we used to spend with buyers. Again, quick story. Again, I used to spend hours and hours and hours and hours on writing offers, bring them to the seller's house, going there to the seller's house, sitting there for an hour or two, going over to the other agent, using the seller's phone, calling my buyer, say, better be ready by the phone, and then they're verbally going back and forth. Then the seller changes it and verbally, maybe over their phone, I'm using their phone to call the buyer's house, and then get in my car, go to them. It's 11 o'clock at night, getting them to sign the documents, and that's like, how many hours is that? Today, agents are doing it a little bit quicker, with the electronic signatures and dot loop and DocuSign, but they're not spending the time building the rapport with the client and being present there. And that means a lot to people when they see that. And ultimately build more of a connection with those people. The more time you spend with them, the more times you could ask them for referrals, the more time they see you putting in the time. And the worst thing that could happen is you have a client buys a house and say, gosh, I talked to and or spent 2 hours, hour and a half with this agent, and that's it. And some of you say, oh, wow, I spent 2 hours with the buyer, that's too much. I'm like, that's crazy. Or I'm sorry, get off topic. I had one agent say to me the other day, like, oh my God, I sold these people 7 houses. I'm like, 7 houses, that's it? I mean, there's agents out there that are new to the business, that just don't know the work putting involved in showing someone 50, 60 houses over a 6-month period, because there's so much inventory out there that they can't decide what house to get, what city to be in, and whatnot. So I know there's a lot of you out there like that, but I think, again, there's agents getting in the business or been in the business line that think like 7 or 8 houses is too many houses to show. They're even trying to cut that. That's too many. So again, it's all individual to you and how many houses, how much time you want to spend with your client. But that's, 7 houses, you could do that in one day, maybe a day and a half if you want to even stretch that. So, but that's all for today. I just wanted to go over a little bit about virtual and ways to be present, being involved, so you show your clients that you're working hard for them and you care about the service that you're giving them. So that's it. Have a great Thursday, and we'll be here again tomorrow at noon. And remember, use me as a resource if you want to go over more of this on how to be more virtual but be more present. I'm happy to do it. Just call, text, email me anytime. That's it. Have a great day, and we'll see some of you very soon. Bye-bye.